Let me ask you a question. How many times have you found yourself settling for less than what you truly deserve? How many times have you bent over backwards for people only to be met with disappointment and unappreciation? Now listen to me carefully. This ends today. Because I'm here to tell you that you are the standard. You are the queen of your own life. And when you begin to understand that, the world will have no choice but to treat you as such. There is a power within you that is more than capable of commanding respect, love, and admiration. But before anyone can treat you like a queen, you have to first treat yourself like one. And when you do that, everything changes. So let's dive in. Because today is the day you begin to claim the throne that's rightfully yours. Self-worth is the foundation of how we interact with the world, and it is the key to how we allow others to treat us. It is essential to understand that your value is not determined by external circumstances, opinions, or the way people choose to see you. It comes from within. Self-worth is an internal compass, one that doesn't rely on approval or validation from others. When you begin to understand and truly believe in your own value, it shifts everything. How you carry yourself, how you navigate relationships, and how you accept or reject treatment from those around you. We live in a world that often conditions us to seek validation from external sources, whether it be through social media, approval from peers, or even romantic relationships. From a young age, many of us are taught to place our worth in the hands of others, and if others deem us good enough, then we're worthy. But the problem with this mindset is that it's based on a moving target, on something that can shift at any moment depending on another person's mood or action. The moment you place your value in someone else's hands, you give them the power to decide your self-worth. And when others disappoint you or fail to meet your expectations, it can leave you feeling small, unworthy, or invisible. True self-worth doesn't fluctuate based on someone's opinion or behavior. It is unshakable. When you understand your worth, you no longer seek validation from others because you are secure in who you are. It is important to note that self-worth doesn't mean arrogance or narcissism. It means that you have a clear, deep understanding of your own value and you refuse to allow anyone to treat you otherwise. It is rooted in self-respect and understanding that you are deserving of love, kindness, and respect just as you are. When you fully embrace your own worth, it shifts the way you engage with others. You stop chasing after love, affection, or approval. You stop settling for relationships that don't uplift you, and you begin to demand what you deserve, nothing less. The truth is that people treat you according to how you treat yourself. If you constantly allow others to disregard your feelings, disrespect your time, or fail to value you, they will continue to do so because you have set the precedent for what is acceptable. However, when you establish that you will not accept disrespect, people are forced to either rise to the occasion or step out of your life. The process of embracing your self-worth is not always an easy one, and it takes time. For many of us, especially women, the process of cultivating self-worth involves unlearning years of conditioning. Society often tells us that our worth is tied to our appearance, our ability to please others, or our role in relationships. But these external factors do not define who we are. Understanding that you are worthy simply because you exist is a powerful shift. This means you are worthy of the best in life simply by being yourself. You are worthy of love, respect, and opportunity. Not because of what you give to others or how you look, but because you are inherently valuable. The journey towards self-worth often involves identifying and confronting limiting beliefs. These beliefs may be messages you received in childhood or through your life experiences that have told you that you are not good enough or that your value is dependent on others' opinions. These beliefs may show up in many areas of your life, whether in how you view your body, your career, your relationships, or your ability. They might cause you to shrink in the presence of others, to second-guess your decisions, or to settle for less than what you deserve. One of the key aspects of embracing your self-worth is releasing the need to be perfect. No one is perfect, and striving for perfection can lead to a cycle of dissatisfaction and frustration. Embracing self-worth means acknowledging your flaws and imperfections and accepting them as part of who you are. It means showing yourself grace and understanding when you make mistakes and not allowing those mistakes to diminish your value. When you accept your imperfections, you start to let go of the need for external validation. You stop needing to prove your worth because you already know that you are enough. Self-worth also means understanding that your needs and desires are just as important as anyone else's. Many people, particularly women, are conditioned to prioritize others above themselves, to sacrifice their own happiness or peace for the sake of others. This often comes at the cost of self-respect and ultimately their own self-worth. However, when you learn to value yourself, you begin to set boundaries that protect your time, energy, and well-being. You stop sacrificing yourself for the sake of others and begin to show up for yourself the way you show up for those you love. This shift in perspective can be life-changing because it opens the door to deeper, more fulfilling relationships and experiences. Another aspect of self-worth is understanding that you are deserving of happiness and success. Society often teaches us to be humble to the point where we diminish our own greatness. We may downplay our achievements or hold back from pursuing our dreams because we feel we don't deserve them. This mindset is rooted in the belief that our worth is not inherent, but is earned. But the truth is, you won't have to earn your worth. It is already yours. You are deserving of everything that life has to offer. And once you step into your worth, you will find that the opportunities, success, and joy you seek are no longer out of reach. They are waiting for you to claim them. Embracing your self-worth is not about being flawless or having everything figured out. It is about honoring yourself and refusing to let anyone else define your value. It means that you no longer base your worth on how others treat you, but instead you recognize that you are already whole and deserving. Once you start seeing yourself in this light, others will start seeing you the same way. When you know your worth, you create an energy around you that is magnetic. People will respect you more, appreciate you more, and treat you with the care and consideration that you have always deserved. This shift in how you view yourself can take time, and it may require you to step outside of your comfort zone. It may challenge you to set boundaries with people who have never been required to respect them, or to walk away from relationships that no longer serve your highest good. But as you make these changes, you will begin to realize that your value is constant, unwavering, and not dependent on anyone's approval or value. It is a divine truth that will empower you to live a life filled with love, respect, and abundance. Self-worth is the key to unlocking the life and relationships you've always desired. It is not something that can be given to you by anyone else, but something that you must cultivate within yourself. And when you truly understand and own your worth, the world will have no choice but to treat you as the queen you are. Setting boundaries with love is an act of self-respect and self-preservation. It is not about pushing people away or building walls. It is about creating healthy and clear lines that protect your time, energy, and well-being. Boundaries are a way of communicating what is acceptable and what is not in your life, and they should be established, not out of anger or resentment, but from a place of love for yourself and respect for others. Setting boundaries with love allows you to preserve your sense of self while fostering healthier, more balanced relationships. It's important to remember that boundaries are not meant to control or punish others. Rather, they serve to protect your emotional and mental health, ensuring that you are able to give your best self to those who are deserving of your time and energy. When you don't set boundaries, you may begin to feel drained, overwhelmed, and even resentful. You might find yourself constantly giving to others at the expense of your own needs, neglecting your own happiness in favor of pleasing those around you. Without boundaries, it becomes easy to lose sight of who you are and what you truly want. Over time, this can lead to burnout and frustration as you try to meet the demands of everyone else, all while feeling empty and unappreciated. It's essential to understand that when you don't set boundaries, you are essentially allowing others to dictate your time, your emotions, and your energy. Setting boundaries with love is about teaching people how to treat you by setting clear, consistent limits. These limits may come in various forms: physical boundaries, emotional boundaries, mental boundaries, or even time boundaries. The purpose is to create an environment where you feel safe, respected, and valued, and just as you teach others how to treat you through the boundaries you set, you also teach them the importance of respecting their own boundaries. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, and one of the ways that respect manifests is through the honoring of boundaries. For many people, especially those who have grown up in environments where their needs were overlooked or dismissed, setting boundaries can be a challenging and uncomfortable process. You may fear that others will reject you, criticize you, or even become angry because of the boundaries you set. The truth is, however, that healthy people will appreciate your boundaries because they will understand that you are simply taking care of yourself. It's important to recognize that setting boundaries doesn't make you selfish or demanding. It makes you someone who values themselves enough to protect their energy and well-being. In fact, when you set boundaries with love, you are actually teaching others how to love and respect themselves too. The fear of rejection is one of the biggest obstacles that prevent people from setting boundaries. You might worry that by saying no or asking for what you need, others will view you as rude, ungrateful, or difficult. But the truth is, people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, even if they are initially surprised or disappointed. It's also important to remember that setting boundaries doesn't mean you have to explain yourself or justify your action. You have the right to say no without offering a lengthy explanation, and you should never feel obligated to sacrifice your peace for the sake of others. Your well-being is paramount, and it's essential to put yourself first when it comes to maintaining your mental and emotional health. Another aspect of setting boundaries is learning to recognize when others are crossing them. People often test your boundaries, sometimes unconsciously and other times intentionally, to see how far they can push you. It's essential to pay attention to these moments and address them immediately. If someone consistently disregards your boundaries, it's a clear sign that they do not respect you, and it may be time to reevaluate that relationship. Boundaries are not optional, and they should never be seen as negotiable. When you allow others to cross your boundaries repeatedly, you send a message that their behavior is acceptable, even though it may be harmful to you. Setting boundaries is also about understanding your own needs and values. When you don't know what you need or what is important to you, it becomes difficult to set boundaries that align with your well-being. It's important to take the time to reflect on what matters most to you, what makes you feel safe and valued, and what you are willing to tolerate and what you're not. When you are clear on your own needs and values, it becomes easier to set boundaries that are aligned with your true self. This clarity allows you to navigate your relationships in a way that supports your growth, happiness, and peace of mind. Setting boundaries with love is also an ongoing process. As you evolve and grow, your boundaries may need to shift or be adjusted. It's important to check in with yourself regularly and assess whether your boundaries are still serving you. Life changes, and so do your needs. For example, a relationship that once felt nourishing may start to feel draining, and you may find yourself needing to set new boundaries to protect your peace. Similarly, you might realize that certain boundaries you set in the past no longer serve you, and it's okay to modify them as you continue to grow and change. One of the most powerful aspects of setting boundaries is that it allows you to reclaim your power. When you allow others to dictate how you feel or how much energy you give to them, you give away your power. But when you set boundaries, you take back control over your life. You decide what you are willing to accept and what you are not, and you stand firm in those decisions. This process not only empowers you, but it also teaches others to respect your decisions and value your time and energy. Another important element of setting boundaries is the ability to communicate them clearly and effectively. It's not enough to simply have boundaries in your mind. You must be able to express them to others in a way that is direct, compassionate, and respectful. This means being honest about your needs and not being afraid to speak up when something doesn't feel right. Clear communication is essential in maintaining healthy relationships because it ensures that both parties understand each other's needs and limitations. It also prevents misunderstandings and confusion that can arise when boundaries are not clearly communicated. Setting boundaries with love also means being kind and compassionate with yourself. It's easy to feel guilty when you have to say no or set limits with others, but remember that you are not responsible for other people's emotions or reactions. You are only responsible for your own well-being. Saying no doesn't mean you are rejecting someone. It simply means that you are taking care of yourself and you deserve that. You have the right to prioritize your own happiness and peace, and by setting boundaries with love, you are doing just that. Boundaries are not walls. They are not meant to keep people out, but rather to create a safe and respectful space where both parties can thrive. Healthy boundaries enhance relationships by fostering trust, respect, and understanding. When you set boundaries with love, you create an environment where both you and the other person can feel seen, heard, and valued. Relationships flourish when both individuals respect each other's boundaries. And the result is a connection that is nurturing, supportive, and mutually beneficial. Empowering yourself is one of the most significant steps toward building the life and relationships you desire. It's about recognizing your innate strength and taking responsibility for your own happiness, growth, and well-being. This empowerment doesn't come from external sources, but from within. It's about stepping into your full potential and understanding that you have the power to shape your life, regardless of the circumstances around you or the opinions of others. When you empower yourself, you shift from a place of dependence on external validation to an internal knowing that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of everything you desire. Many people go through life seeking approval, validation, or affirmation from others. They rely on the opinions of family, friends, partners, or society to determine their worth and to guide their decisions. This external validation can be comforting, but it's fleeting and unreliable. One moment you may feel on top of the world because of someone's approval, and the next you might feel insignificant or unworthy if that approval is withdrawn. This constant reliance on others can lead to self-doubt and insecurity, as it gives others the power to determine how you see yourself. True empowerment comes from within. It's about reclaiming your personal power, trusting your instincts, and acknowledging that you are the author of your own life story. When you empower yourself, you stop waiting for permission from others to live the life you want. Instead of waiting for a sign or for someone to tell you that you're ready or deserving, you take the initiative. You set your own goals, create your own path, and walk with confidence in the direction of your dreams. Empowerment is a mindset. It's the belief that you have the ability to achieve what you set your mind to, and that you can overcome challenges no matter how difficult they may seem. It's the belief that you don't need to wait for external circumstances to change in order to start living the life you envision. A key part of self-empowerment is taking ownership of your choices and actions. It's about understanding that you are responsible for how you respond to life's challenges, setbacks, and even successes. Many times, we find ourselves blaming others or external circumstances for where we are in life. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we are victims of our situation. But when you shift your mindset and take ownership of your role in the life you are creating, you empower yourself to make better decisions and take proactive steps toward your goals. When you take full responsibility for your life, you stop waiting for someone else to change things for you. And instead, you take control of your own narrative. Self-empowerment also requires you to stop seeking approval from others. This doesn't mean you should completely disregard the opinions of those around you, but it means that you learn to trust yourself and your decisions. There will always be people who criticize, judge, or question the choices you make. But when you empower yourself, you no longer need their approval to feel validated. You trust your intuition, your knowledge, and your values to guide you. This self-trust is the foundation of confidence and belief in your own abilities. When you believe in yourself, others will begin to believe in you too. Empowerment comes from having the courage to stand firm in your decisions, even when others may not understand or support them. Empowering yourself also means letting go of the fear of failure. Many people hold themselves back because they fear making mistakes or not living up to their own expectations. But failure is not something to fear. It is an essential part of growth. Every successful person has faced failure at some point in their journey. But it is how they responded to failure that ultimately led to their success. Failure is simply a stepping stone on the path to success. When you empower yourself, you embrace failure as a learning opportunity, not a reason to give up. You realize that mistakes don't define you. They refine you, teach you, and help you become better and stronger. With this mindset, you are free to take risks, pursue new opportunities, and expand your horizons without the fear of falling short. Another important aspect of self-empowerment is learning to say no. So often we try to please others at the expense of our own well-being. We say yes to things we don't really want to do out of a sense of obligation or fear of disappointing others. But saying yes to everything can quickly lead to burnout, frustration, and resentment. Empowering yourself means knowing your limits and having the courage to say no when something doesn't align with your values, priorities, or needs. Saying no is not selfish. It's an act of self-care. It's about protecting your time, energy, and emotional well-being. When you say no, you are not rejecting others. You are honoring your own boundaries and choosing to invest your time and energy into things that bring you joy, fulfillment, and growth. Empowering yourself also means letting go of limiting beliefs that hold you back. We all have internal narratives that shape our behavior, and sometimes these stories are based on fear, doubt, or past experiences. These beliefs can be incredibly limiting, preventing us from reaching our full potential. But when you empower yourself, you challenge these limiting beliefs and replace them with positive, affirming thoughts. You begin to recognize that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to, and you no longer allow self-doubt or fear to dictate your actions. Empowerment is about breaking free from the stories you tell yourself about what you can and can't do, and rewriting them in a way that supports your dreams and aspirations. Part of empowering yourself also involves cultivating a growth mindset. This means believing that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work, dedication, and learning. A growth mindset allows you to see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than as obstacles to avoid. When you empower yourself with a growth mindset, you approach life with a sense of curiosity and resilience. You see setbacks as temporary, and you understand that with effort and persistence, you can overcome anything. This mindset is essential for achieving long-term success and fulfillment, as it encourages continuous learning and personal development. Empowering yourself is also about surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you. The people you spend time with have a significant impact on your mindset and energy. When you empower yourself, you consciously choose to surround yourself with individuals who inspire, encourage, and challenge you in positive ways. These people help you to see your potential, remind you of your strengths, and push you to reach new heights. On the other hand, negative or toxic relationships can drain your energy and confidence, holding you back from becoming your best self. By empowering yourself, you take the responsibility to nurture relationships that support your growth and let go of those that hinder it. Finally, empowering yourself means prioritizing your health and well-being. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of life, working, meeting obligations, and taking care of others, but without taking care of yourself, you cannot show up as your best self. Empowerment comes when you understand that your physical, emotional, and mental health are essential to your success. When you invest in your health, whether through exercise, proper nutrition, mindfulness, or rest, you create the foundation for a strong, resilient self. This enables you to face challenges with clarity, energy, and focus, and to pursue your goals with enthusiasm and determination. Empowering yourself is a continuous journey, one that requires self-awareness, self-love, and a commitment to personal growth. It is about understanding your own worth, trusting yourself, and taking responsibility for the life you want to create. When you empower yourself, you no longer wait for external circumstances to change or for someone else to give you permission to live your best life. You take action, set boundaries, embrace challenges, and pursue your dreams with confidence. It is the key to living a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and joy. Now, I want you to walk away from here today with a renewed sense of power and clarity. You are not just someone who deserves to be loved. You are someone who is meant to be adored, respected, and treated like the queen you are. But in order for that to happen, you must first treat yourself like royalty. Start by owning your worth, setting boundaries, and empowering yourself every single day. When you do this, everything in your life will shift. You won't have to beg for respect. You won't have to chase love. It will come to you effortlessly, because when you radiate self-love, others can help but reflect it back. So rise, beautiful soul. Know your value. Honor your boundaries and stand tall in your power, because when you treat yourself like the queen you are, the world will follow suit.